Hello and welcome to How Do You Not Know This, the podcast about the things you really should know. Sometimes you're at a dinner party, people are talking about things and you just laugh even though you don't get the joke, or you nod even though you don't know that politics. We're helping you not be in those situations. We have got Exhibit A.
Alright, everyone.
That is Dom Haddon Woods, good comedian but not good at paying attention in school. Loads of gaps in knowledge. And Tony Vino and I, every week, well, not every week.
No, they think every week.
They think every week.
We don't think every week.
We don't think every week. So,
but they don't need to know that.
Every week we school him. Every week we school him on things he doesn't know. And yes, before we get started on this week's episode, what's been up? We met last week. What's been up since?
So what's happened? So I had a good weekend. I did a show on Saturday night with two footballing legends. See if you know these people. Bruce Grobbelaar, very famous South African footballer, known for he did his antics. He used to play for Liverpool. Him and another international called Dean Sons. And Bruce Grobbelaar was famous for, he went through a scandal where he potentially took bribes to not save the goals. Right?
Really?
And he went through a whole thing and then he was exonerated and all that, but it's become this whole thing. And I was at this, and I sort of did my show, then I interviewed them, and then I was like, I'll open it up to, you know, the thing. Now he was a footballer in the 80s, right? Yeah. So that's a long time ago. And so literally, first question, and this is like a little place called Featherstone. It's like a little village in Yorkshire, and you just think, you've got these two internationally famous superstars, legends of football, and I said, right, first question, Bloke went, so go on then, did you take it? How much you get? How much you get? I was like, that's really rude.
No, that would be my question too. You're crazy that would not be the number one question.
Did I know who
he was before? Yeah.
Oh, Bruce Grobbelaar. Yeah, I mean, I'm a bit older than you, so he was like, he was the most famous He's probably the most famous goalie of the past 50 years, you know, outside of Schmeichel and then before that Shilton. But, you know, Bruce Grobbelaar was like...
And what did you have to say to the guy, don't do that?
Well, it has to be the first question. Like, when you interviewed Frank Bruno,
yeah,
I messaged you what your first question should have been, and I know you didn't go for it. Like, how was it like getting your ear bitten off?
So, yeah, that would be funny. Yeah, saying like, this is how little I know about boxing.
How did you manage that situation?
Well, I was like, oh, that's lovely start. And I did that, and then Bruce is South African, so he said, give the mic to the man. Give the mic to the man. And I was like, what? And he goes, good. And he was like, because he was ready for it. Yeah. And he's like, okay, ask the question. And he was slowing it down. He said, ask the question again.
Wow.
And the boat was like, so, right, back in the 80s, yeah, you were done for like, you know, taking money, taking bribes for missing goals, and we want to know how much you got, did you take it, and how much did you get? Tell us. And it was like,
wow, confrontational beginning.
45 years ago this happened. Yeah. And he was right, my friend. I went through, and he went through all of the, I was exonerated from every charge. Not only that, I then took Robert Maxwell, not Robert Maxwell, it was Robert Maxwell from the Sun Group. I took him to court. They gave me 85,000. All I do is my own voice, but
I'm enjoying the accent.
£85,000, my friend. And I met him on the stairs.
Yeah.
And he said to me, I said, what do you think of that then, Robert? And he says, I don't care. And then everyone just gave him a massive round of applause.
Right.
So he won, but he was sharp.
What's it like interviewing those guys? Do you speak to them before and that?
Yeah, you know, it's like it's a weird one when you see people that, like, particularly when you meet someone who's famous when you were a kid. So there's a little bit of the kid in me.
And how old is he now?
Like Grobbelaar's sort of mid-60s, Dean Saunders about 10 years younger, because they actually overlapped at Liverpool in the early 90s. So Grobbelaar was on the way out. They're both under the same manager for a little while.
Any questions off limits?
that was the thing. That we hadn't said any
We
questions
hadn't
off
said
limit,
anything,
but that I mean by that time that any other question was nice
Yes.
after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're great. They're just it's an interesting one. They're ordinary guys. There's an interesting sort of dynamic with footballers because they do their football shows and everyone goes, but they watch comedians, watch what you do and all that because they get their pattern, they get their stories, and they kind of like use stand-up techniques and all that kind of stuff because that's their job now. They get paid
They're being paid
£1,000.
shitloads of money for
A
that.
lot of money. They're getting like 12 grand or something
Yeah.
like that, to do these. It's incredible the money to get these guys.
Did you get that? Mate?
Yeah. Well, slightly down. I got
No, but you've got good cash. You got good cash. Just not football cash.
Not football cash. But then I
Right.
didn't have to play, left back for Australian mid centre forward for Liverpool. So
That's pretty cool.
I kind of feel like all right. Yeah. So that was me.
Dom?
Yeah, Dom.
Well, I did the British Comedian of the Year.
Oh!
Boom!
Got
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Did you? Is this the next one, the final?
The semis is on Wednesday,
Come on.
so
Brilliant.
it was me and Colin who got through.
You and Colin Manford got through, right? Well done, mate.
It was good because I've been in this slump, and then I said to you two when we recorded before we went, I said, "Been doing clean," and you went, "What are you doing that for?"
Yeah.
So I went on and went, I watched a lot of porn, and they went, "No, I'm back."
I'm back. You're back. You're back. And
Now people
also,
get-
do you know that means that for HMRC, you can tax deduct the porn?
There you go.
It's research.
So but I'm a bit anxious. Well, because when the final was at Spiky Mike's gig in Ashby,
Yeah.
Daliso, which I did a few months ago, and it's quite a regular audience. But they're not going to remember what the fuck I said.
Okay.
And also, it probably won't be the as much
It won't
of
be
the
the
regular
same
audience.
people.
'Cause it's- yeah.
And even the regular. Comedians remember jokes. Audience do not.
If they liked me, surely they'll enjoy it.
They enjoy it. Also, honestly, audience need to see you 5 times before they start remembering your jokes.
Are you going to open with that porn thing again on for the
I
next
open
one?
with YouTube suicide. You two should stop making videos and kill yourselves.
Right.
Your
That's why
classic.
it's just me. It's a
Classic.
classic. And then I go porn. They go, "What the fuck's going on here?"
And
then- Yeah, I just was going bam, 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 bam.
Well, the punchline of the suicide one, that's why there's just one of you.
Yeah.
And sex, it's just one of you too, with the porn.
Yeah.
There's something there.
Cool.
Oh, this is great. We're workshopping.
We're off.
This is
We're workshopping. We're workshopping.
How about you, Diesel? What about
So
you, man?
I finally have started writing my show.
Come on!
My tour starts.
Did you do
Fans
the
are listening,
list
mate? You don't want to
last
say. They won't-
I always do
There'll
it
be
last-
people like this going, "I bought a ticket. I bought a ticket before you wrote."
But they
mate."
don't even know. It's always like around 2 months before.
Yeah.
I always wish I could write much earlier, right? But I've just been doing comedy clubs. Maybe there's 15 minutes of stuff that's
Yeah.
new and good. But now, I've got a friend, Sugar Sammy, in town. And we meet and we discuss jokes. And that gave me a good catalyst because, he brings loads of ideas. So I was like, I better bring loads of ideas too. And so I just started writing and it's just flowing and I'm just excited.
That's
And
great.
I've got now, I think it's too long. I'm like, I think the show is going to be 2 hours just because I have so many
Love it.
ideas and stuff.
Love it.
So
What's
I'm
the-
doing a preview tomorrow, 90 minutes,
Where?
in Southampton.
Is that the one? You didn't do one last week, did you?
No, I didn't.
So, what's the central theme of the show?
Central C it's about news,
Oh,
right?
okay.
But it's not a show about the news. It's a show about journalists and blog. It's about how we get the news.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with the way we get the news now.
Interesting times and algorithms and how everything we're all in our little.
Am I going to support this one? That's going to be interesting.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
what I'm doing yet. I don't know
'Cause
what
I'll
I'm doing
go,
yet.
what the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't know how topical you are, but either way, I don't know yet, because I know more when it's sold. I think you should do this tour with tours. When it's half sold,
Yeah.
that's when you book support.
Hmm.
If it's not, so let's say over the course of 40 shows, that's what is 40,000 tickets?
Yeah.
4,000. I don't. My math's terrible.
40 shows at 100 people a show. That's
No.
4,000.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like some are 200, some are 300. So I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying whatever.
okay, yeah,
You add
yeah,
that up.
full.
When we've sold, so let's say the whole run is a maximum of 8,000 tickets. When we've sold 4,000, that's when you
That's
start
what-
booking. That's when you
Do
start
you
booking.
not do it venue specific? So that one's got 3.
I don't,
let's give-
because
yeah,
once I know the tour is profitable,
right.
I
and
can
you
start
can put a bit more in.
giving away
yeah.
some of my money to opening acts. If it's not, I'm doing it alone.
I love it. You heard it here first. You know, like when you see
No, but I
Daliso
think that's always the way to do it.
We'll be doing 2 sections tonight.
Because otherwise you're weeping as you're on stage.
Oh,
You're like,
man.
I'm in negative.
No, it's difficult, isn't it, when you go on? Because the amount of shows I've been to where I know I'm losing money, but the people in the audience don't know that you're losing money. But you're like, I'm a patron to the arts, and you're going, listen, you know, and if
Because they look around and think, wow, this guy's making money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're like, no. If I do any of them, I'll write some topical jokes. Just
No,
for...
don't. I don't think the world needs that.
Alright, fair enough. I'll just do myself.
The world's not ready for that kind
If you
of
ever do
sharp
that, it's
journalism.
always do your best set.
All right.
Do your best.
But one more. So I did my show in Leeds yesterday.
So I'm still laughing at the thought of topical golf.
I could try. I've got a topical bit about the porn blog.
Oh yes, porn bots and
But
stuff.
that is about porn.
It's just the news stories you go to. Actually, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll just do my set if I
Yeah.
do.
Cool.
But yeah, I did my show in Leeds, was good. The tour shirt was nice.
Brilliant.
But it was in Hyde Park Book Club and there's 2 rooms and there was a rock band on at the same time. And there was this massive queue for the rock band.
Oh, you thought they were going
And
to
some guy went, fucking hell, this guy's doing well, isn't he? I've got a queue for ages. And he went, no, you don't, mate. No, straight in there. Don't you worry about that.
That's fantastic. But you couldn't hear them while you were talking.
I could when the support acts were on. But not
Okay,
then.
but
So
not
it was irritating the day I had the show. Because it was like, people, like my room was sold 25 and there was only 10 in there. I thought there's some people in that queue thinking it's...
Yeah.
And then, but it's okay. Just this low level is irritating. When you get to theatres, people do shit for you.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Soon.
Direction,
Soon.
Stage door and all
Tour
that.
number 2, theatre. And I'll open for you. Excellent.
Topical jokes.
I'll do topical.
Yeah, no, you don't be like, none of that topical stuff.
None of
please,
topical
so,
stuff.
okay,
Just do the goal. Just do the goal.
Do the fingering.
Okay, so
We doing it then?
yes, so this week's episode is actually inspired by last week's episode. For those who didn't tune in, go check it out. It was a very funny episode. But last week,
Which
Dom
one?
talked. Well, okay.
Fame one.
Yes.
Yes,
So
that
Dom
was last
talked
week.
about going at night to meet some women who messaged him online.
Yeah.
Right? And we thought that he survived, he lived.
It did.
It
He
was
was-
just
yeah.
2 women pranking him.
From
But it could have
Dublin.
gone much more horrible.
Yeah, man.
So we decided to do this week's episode on something which Dom should know and all of you should know. Scams.
Yeah.
Mm.
This is like a public information episode.
Yeah,
you know?
so what do you know about scams and what scams
Well,
do
I've
you
actually
know?
done quite a lot of scams.
You've done
I've
scams?
done scams.
You've actually been
Pretty
the
bad ones, to be
perpetrator.
honest.
Oh, well, here we go.
Will you get cancelled or can you tell us?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, tell us.
Well, when I started doing the pickup community,
Yes.
there was a Facebook group, a bit like the comedy forum, but with less weird men. Actually, I think the comedy ones got more weird men.
Slightly higher moral standard.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then this guy went, I was living in Somerset, this guy goes, I'm in Bristol, want to do some pickup, let's do it. So I was like, great, we'll do it together. And I'm like, man, I've not got much money, blah, blah. And he goes, I've got this scheme for you. What I like to do, what he likes to do is he likes to buy Dyson air wraps, mostly,
Okay.
hair dryers, from AliExpress, which is a Chinese website,
Yeah.
fake ones, for £150
Each.
each.
Yeah.
Pop them on eBay for 300, 100% profit.
So he basically sells.
And so he gave me some, and he was like, look, I'll take 50 quid off each one you sell, and then you make 100. So I did that for
And
him.
did you do it? And did it work?
Yeah, and then he, for some reason,
But then I imagine it's difficult to keep
And he
ratings
also-
on eBay because people will be like, "This is not a real."
well, he also worked for the police. But
and then he arrested me.
well, and then
Yeah.
he blocked me for some reason. Can't remember what happened. So I just started doing it myself. But generally, what happens is it was all fine, and then a couple of them emailed me like, "This is fake," so I just sent them the money back.
Right.
So sorry,
Not a good scammer.
But as in- and
No,
then-
but I made
and
profit
then-
And
overall.
they made profit overall.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they send you back the machine.
No,
You just gave them
I
the
didn't
money.
want it back.
You basically were rumbled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I sold Ray-Bans for a bit. That was a good one, £25, £7.50. That's obviously it's not an electric, is it?
No, fake
Yeah.
Ray-Ban. That's probably harder to. Yeah, because a fake Ray-Ban is harder to identify, probably.
Yeah, they
than a
look
fake.
I wear them.
Dyson Airblade.
But and then my mum, I was with my mum at the time, and I'd get the Dyson shipped to her, And at the start I was like, didn't tell her what I was doing. And then Mum, this is what's good. She went, good idea. She went, but they're coming from China. It was before COVID. She went, make sure you don't bring that COVID over here.
Yeah.
And then
So
maybe I did.
Do you want to give us your eBay handle? So we can recommend.
So who wants to buy an Isonaira?
All profits go to. How do you not know this yet?
But apparently, fraud won't be investigated unless it's over 20 grand.
Yes.
So
Small time scammers
Mm.
get away with a lot more,
Yeah.
right? And the biggest scams right now are essentially what you could have been wrapped up in is internet scams.
Mm.
Internet scams.
Well, my
Yeah.
TikTok got hacked, didn't it? That was a
TikTok got
scam.
hacked. That's a scam.
That was fucking heartbreaking, man.
Yeah.
It is the. I mean, it's basically like with everything. The internet is just essentially.
And you paid them, right, to get it
exploded.
back?
£50. Yeah.
£50. Now, because now you've got a lot more
That'd
followers,
be a big-
that's for a lot
Yeah.
more
What?
money.
As in, the scammers. You
I'll tell you what,
basically
so he
they
emailed-
had you.
He emailed me
Oh,
like, your
man.
account's going great. We should get you verified. Blue. I was like, that's cool. I'll be verified. And then so I did it. And then he
Oh, you didn't tell me that was how it happened.
It looks really good.
Now I see, of course. You were scammed, because it's the thing. They offer things that are too good to be true.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
is the one warning sign. If two women are asking you to come over, it's a scam. It's a scam.
Anything. That's
You
it.
are not Brad Pitt. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and you're not making millions. If you've got millions in a yacht, maybe it's true. But literally, if you are newly famous, that's not too good to be true. Or equally, I'll verify you, no fee. I'm just going to help you. Again.
Well, no, it was an email as if it was from TikTok saying you should get verified, but they would
Yes,
never.
again,
They don't give a shit about me. do they?
Exactly.
No, this guy's doing great.
Yes.
But they anyway.
Oh.
So I clicked the link and then he emailed me like, "We've got your account. Give me £500. I'll give it back." I went, "Come on, man. My mum's dying. She's really sick. I need to pay for her treatment." He went, "You live in England?" I went, "Fuck. You've got me out on that one."
You tried to scam the scammer.
I tried to scam him back.
And he was
Wow.
too good for you. He won the first
Yeah.
game.
So I haggled him down to 50. It's pretty good. And then but I reported it to TikTok, so they locked my account. So then it took me months contacting TikTok to get it back. And I'm glad I did now, otherwise.
Wow.
Yeah.
But did you give him 50?
I gave him 50.
And then he opened it up to you.
Give it back. Very
Thank you.
very amicable.
Well, do you know what they say?
Great bloke.
Honour amongst scammers. But he
Scammers.
probably, there was
Have you been
like a
scammed?
couple of times that because the thing is, it's interesting. Now we're getting the online scam. It's basically old scams, but now digitised. So,
Yes.
so I've had a few. So I remember when I was 17, so 30 years ago, right? I remember there's one called the. Have you heard of like it's like the idea of what's called it's called the pigeon scam. Right? So
No.
the idea of it's the idea you create. The victim is called a pigeon, so it's someone that they you drops it and they.
Sounds
but,
cool.
But it's
Sounds
the,
cool.
and but it's the idea that if other people think something's too good to be true, and then you just follow the others, right? So remember that. Clear as day, I was about maybe I was younger than that. I must have been about 15 because I went into town in Preston, and then there was one of these like empty shops in the city centre. And they were like, yeah, we're doing, it was before Christmas, like present sell-off, right? And they had all sort of like beautiful perfumes and aftershaves and everything, all things displayed. And you go, oh, this looks a good shop. And you go in and they go, right, and what we do, we auction off Christmas bundle items, right? And there was maybe, they let you queue up and you go in, and there's about 30 of us each time in the shop, and then they lock the door behind. And then you sort of like stuffed in like that, and basically he went, right, here we go. So in the bag we'll have put one of the, and he had one of the perfumes, one of the aftershave, one of the items of clothes, one of this, right, there we go. You get that now. How much is this worth? And someone might say like 50 quid, 40 quid, and then a few people like, yeah, I'll have it, 10 quid, right, okay, I tell you what, we haven't got time, go. He started filling loads, we'll just do it at 15 quid a bag or whatever, and everyone was like, yeah, and everyone was like, yeah, and I was like, oh, great, yes! Right. So I put down 15 quid, everyone put down 50 quid, but clearly what they have is when you've got a pinch, you've got people,
a few of them are their friends.
and so they take the bags. All of us took these bags, and I remember came out, and then they found out another door, and I had a black bin liner, and I was like, fantastic, thanks so much, appreciate that. And then you open it up, and there's like half a turd in there, you know, like just like nothing, like nothing. It was like complete rubbish that was maybe worth £1 or £2. And I remember going, and I was like, and then I was like, there was another queue of people going in, and I was like, hey, no, don't go. And then, but there was heavies and stuff like that. I remember about 15 away. All right, well done, fellas. So I thought, life lesson. But yeah,
that's actually one of the other signs of a scam is when they put pressure on you.
Yeah.
You have to make the decision now, and there's a lot of, like, my brother got scammed in Malawi, and they were so clever because he came by a van, and he saw these people who are like stressed, and they're like, oh no, Jesus, I, and they're praying, and it's like kind of like, you know, rural villager types. And so he's like, what's going on? He's like, we've got this, we were told to buy this material for this white man, right? And he's not here yet, right? We have to get the bus back home, but he has to come here and he has to pay us. And then they're stressed, and then my brother, he is the one who said, how much is this guy going to pay you, right? And it was something like, he's going to give us $200. And so somehow my brother ended up roped into, and again, everything was urgent. The bus is coming, the white man's here. They got the white man on the phone because they're bad at speaking English. Oh my goodness, and they gave the phone to my brother, and the white guy said to him, those guys are there, they're going to leave. I need my stuff to be looked after. You know what? Why don't you give them $50, and then when I come, I'll give you 100, right? And
classic.
My brother, in the moment, he goes from being a helpful guy to being, this is actually working in my way. And he gives them the money, they dash off, they jump on the bus, yay! And then, only then does he open the box. There's nothing.
Nothing in there. Classic. You know, that's
but he did get a box.
He did get a box.
And they're
but
valuable
again,
when you
he
move
said
house.
if he had had time to think, he would never have been caught. But there's always something going on. One person crying, one person yelling, and then the real trick was to speak to the white man who's got a posh accent, and we trust authority. And we trust like posh accents.
When you think about it, everything's a scam, isn't it?
So many.
A lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things.
Where I've been scammed personally, I have to admit. Okay, so you know I do charity work for underprivileged young women.
Yeah.
So OnlyFans. So I had an OnlyFans account. I followed a few people, and one night there was a huge amount missing from my account. I didn't know what was going on, and I found out on OnlyFans.
How much?
Like
thousands.
Like a grand.
Right.
But what it had done was it went through like £1, £1, just to see if I'm paying attention, and then £10, and then it went up and up and up all in one night. And the good thing was it was clearly absurd, so I was able to call the bank and contact OnlyFans and get it shut down.
Yeah.
But
well,
often,
you got the money back.
Yeah, I got all the money back. But often they try to sexual stuff. People are ashamed, and sometimes will just absorb. Will just not.
That's the key, because often if you are complicit in some kind of either greed or sexual shit, that's the classic with scams. And I did a little bit of looking into like scams. So I mean, they've been going since the, even in the Bible it talks about the idea of dishonest scales and all this kind of making sure that you're there's equity in how you deal with things. I have read the Bible several times over.
Good read.
It's great. The ending's fantastic. But and it talks about so like for instance one of the ones there was this one called a guy called Ludwig in France. 1920s, that's only a century ago, he sold the Eiffel Tower several times.
Really?
Several
times?
Yeah, so what he did, but then he basically got people complicit. So he did it first time, he made loads of money, but he pretended to be an official from the council.
Yeah.
Got a meeting with a load of scrap metal merchants. So actually got loads of them in and got them into a bidding war and said, look, it costs too much for the council, for the parish council. We're going to take it down, but we're going to give one company the scrap metal license, and then basically we're just informing you. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Just informing you. So he didn't sell anything. But then a load of
They
them came to him,
contacted him.
and then they gave him
Yeah.
bribes. And so and to the biggest bribe, he goes, yeah, okay, you've got the thing. So he took the biggest bribe, yeah, and it worked. But obviously he didn't get in trouble because they bribed him.
They
so
bribed him.
what? They can't go to the authorities.
How
So
much
he
did
did it
he sell
several
it
times
for?
over. I don't know. Like, you know, at the time,
Fuckloads.
loads of money. But it's that. But the thing is, that it then inspired. You might have heard of the Brooklyn Bridge thing. It's the same thing happened together again in America. A guy sold the Brooklyn Bridge, pretending to be council. So that it's the idea. It gets you complicit.
But I will say that there is a racism in the being aware of scamming,
Yeah.
right? My bank account has been blocked, right, because I had money coming in from African countries. And when I contacted them, they said, we think you're being scammed. And I was like, why? You've had money coming in from South Africa, you've had money coming in, you've paid money to Nigeria. And I'm like, the company is called Lafrica. Like, the Africa is in the name of the company. No, but, and then, you know, I have a friend from Romania, again, whenever she tries to do anything, there's certain countries which are flagged.
Yeah.
And people are very suspicious, like you know, Muslim people. I once tried to do business with a guy called John Bin Laden, and no, but yeah,
anything. But that's it. And I think banks they flag up things like Western Union, payments like that. If you're giving money to friends or whatever, because it's
late night
Late night
transaction. Why are you
it's so
at
annoying.
the ATM at 3 a.m.?
And you're like, you have to call your bank, and you're like, it is me. How do I prove I am me? I don't know. I had one where I was selling a car, actually, and again, it's things that I was complicit in. It goes into your greed, right? So basically, I sold a car on what's called Auto Trade on the website, and someone bought it, but they were like, I'm in Germany or somewhere like that. They were abroad, and he said, look, I'm going to send you the check, okay, because it's my company that's buying it. And I was like, fine. It was like a VW Golf. Sold it, and he said, but the way the company is, they can only do it in certain amounts. So basically, say the car was about 12,500, giving you 13,000 check. Do you mind refunding me the 500? I said, yeah, it's fine. So he sent me the check. I cashed it. And as soon as I cashed it, right, the money appeared in my bank account, and the guy was on me. He was like this. He was like, right, man, I need the money now. You need to return the money. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, and I was like, whoa. He said, listen, and he was getting shoot. You know, like, you need to send me the money straight away, or I am. Are you scamming me? And he was like calling me scamming. I'm like, no, the car's here, come collect it. Like, you're scamming me, give me the money. And so he got rid of it. But basically, there's a certain amount of time where the money appears in your account, and then it goes out
It bounces.
and then it bounced. And then I got and the police came around and they were like, right, what's going on? You know, you 30. And I was like, oh God, that happened. But
what, he then took money out of your account? Or?
well, he wanted me to refund 500 quid into a Western Union or a, MoneyGram International. He said, you got to give me that 500 quid now. And so if then what would have happened? I would have paid that 500 quid. The money would have gone out of my account, and then he would have disappeared.
Happened to my friend who's a model. There was a modeling agency.
So they would have made 500.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. A friend who's a model. She was paid by a photographer, and the company pays $1,000, right? And he says, "Oh, send me the 500." They send it to you, the 1,000. Send me the 500, and then we'll do the photo shoot. So she sends him 500, and then the next day, her initial 1,000 bounces because it wasn't real, and the guy's gone. He's cancelled his phone, so she just lost her 500.
Yeah.
Well, good for me. I don't have 500.
You need money to be
Send
scammed.
me 500. I can't.
But what you said is interesting. The idea of not that.
Well, I think
everything's a scam.
everything is based off people's insecurities.
Well, it's also based on what
so
value
yes.
you put
So the
into
things
something.
which they prey on are very base emotions: greed,
Yeah.
lust. Number one thing they get you for horny men are a big target.
You are very susceptible.
Very you need to watch for that one. Then also loneliness, right? Like there's a lot of love scam, like very popular. People who are just alone and they want a relationship, they will end up starting an online relationship, sending this person money. It's a big scam.
And then they're like, oh, I'm going to come visit you. I've got a friend whose dad, fell in love online, and he's paying for her airfare and all this, and she never really materialised.
Fear is the other one. Fear. So we are HMRC. You owe us 20,000, or we're coming to arrest you.
We're going to come get you. You owe me money now. I have given you. Like this guy was like, I am sending someone. He was going to send someone around. I'm like, I remember going, oh my goodness, this is. But he does. But there is a level to which, like, you think about the classic, what's called like a Ponzi scheme, right? Which is, so there's a guy called, I think it was called George Ponzi or something like that. But he was behind the idea of like where you get investment, and then he's giving you a return. So it's done on greed, but a Ponzi scheme is where. Yeah, so like a Ponzi scheme is like the original Ponzi scheme was a guy called Ponzi, and he basically got investment and then started paying all the early people, saying you're getting a great return on your investment, and they were, but it was always the new people doing it until eventually they lost it. So so the big one was people like Robert Maxwell. He was well known. He owned like the mirror, all these papers and loads of employees, and then basically taking money out of their pension plan to fund the failing companies. Because he's like, which essentially
you have to be. This is the actual thing. Is the most immoral thing is to get away with scams. You have to prey on people who are either ignorant or old and infirm, or there's a. You have to
switched on
really
people are harder to get.
Immoral. You really have to be immoral because the most you can get. I think it's always portrayed in movies as kind of like rakish and cool, like
that
Catch
kind of
Me As You
Ocean's
Can or something like.
But
if you actually think great film, but if you actually just think of the actual scammers, they usually preying on old people, getting their savings.
They're usually not Leonardo DiCaprio.
Exactly.
No,
it's a guy who.
They're in a boiler
the guy
room
that
doing
Frank Abagnale. That's a lesson to a talk he did. He's really inspiring. He was up.
Yeah, but half of what he's saying is lying. He's a scammer. You can't believe him.
He's old now, man.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it, but I've seen the talks.
Talk.
But there are people who debunked a lot of the things he says
really?
in talks. Cause he's a liar. Of course, he lies.
Well, exactly. You think like Nick Leeson was famous. He was the guy that brought down Barings Bank. It's a bank that's been going to some the 1700s, and he was a rogue trader, and he had something like the AAA account. So any losses he made on these rogue trades that weren't allowed, he hid it in this account and was eventually like I'm gonna make the money back, and he never did. And then he brought down an entire bank and think about. But he became a bit of almost like, because Ewan McGregor played him in a film and all that, and became a speaker on the circuit. So we do sort of lionize that kind of like, it's a Robin Hood thing. Mean? We kind of extol them. We put them on a pedestal. You're like, great.
You lionize Sean Walsh.
I do.
Yeah.
There you go. And those two girls that sent me out at 1 a.m.
They will go down in history. Those girls,
different reasons.
Yeah, they might have saved you from death in the future. Yeah, now that you're more switched on.
But yes, so
it was last week.
Seems good.
You've not been out this weekend yet.
No. So anyway, to summarize, before we wrap up,
anything that is too good to be true
that's too good to
isn't true.
Be very careful if it seems too good to be true. Also, if anyone's trying to ask you to send the money in an unconventional way, send it via MoneyGram, or just do a PayPal, or just give me cash.
And nowadays, never click on a link. Like the amount of stuff I get through, Meta. Emails, your account's being blocked or whatever, and they want you to just don't click on. Go to the actual original site.
Click on the link for this podcast.
Click on the link for this podcast.
It's not a scam.
Yeah, it's not a scam. And actually, if you go to my account on PayPal, which is Daliso at gmail.com on PayPal.
What's going on here?
What?
We're being scammed here. Me and you are being totally scammed.
No, we're trying to upgrade the podcast, and we're doing a fundraiser. So all you need to do is put in $500.
But you will get 600.
You will get 600
and a car.
And a car.
Yeah.
And a car.
We'll give you Tony's car.
and a Dyson Hoover from Dom. He's got about
I'm
600
so
in his
bad. I
basement.
couldn't even get it out without
Yeah.
smiling. Like I'm such a bad scammer.
You should
I
take
would burst
donations,
out
though.
laughing.
That'd be good.
We tried a Patreon.
Yeah. I haven't really pushed it.
We need branded fake Ray-Bans. You're the man.
You're the man.
You must have a box full of them.
I've got 2 pairs.
Let's just keep reselling.
So thank you so much. This has been How Do You Not Know This? Like, share, come back.
Yeah, baby.
Stay safe.
See you in a bit.